I think we're ready now to jump into our resource fair portion. I'm going to give the order that we have everyone presenting. We have the New York Public Library here. We have Brooklyn Public Library. We have Literacy Inc. We have the Video Interaction Project, and we have Literacy Partners. So big welcome to all these organizations. Your ears should have been ringing yesterday too, because there was a lot of different resources that had been discussed as part of yesterday's panels, I will say, featuring Video Interaction Project, which we definitely plugged for coming in today and learning more about. So I'm going to pass it over to New York Public Library to start it off with Eva. Welcome.
Hi, thanks, Carrie, so much. My name is Eva Shapiro. I'm the manager of early childhood education at the New York Public Library, and I am joined by my colleague, who could say hi right now.
Hi, I'm Samantha Terrazas. I'm early literacy coordinator at the New York Public Library. And you can see my screen, Eva. Yes. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Looks good. And so just to preface, the New York Public Library is the New York Public Library system for the boroughs of Manhattan, Bronx, and Staten Island. So when we refer to our services, we're talking about those three areas. I know that Rachel from Brooklyn Public Library will be here to talk about a lot of the services at Brooklyn, and our counterpart in Queens offers very similar services as well. So just wanted to put that out there. And we're excited to kind of talk a little bit today about some of the things you may not know about or may need a refresher on about the library and how we're here to support families of New York City.
Oh. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as Eva just mentioned, we are three of the boroughs. So we are Manhattan, the Bronx, and Staten Island, and we have 86 locations across those three boroughs. So you can see in the map here, we are pretty much in almost every neighborhood. There is a library branch that you can find and access that has very similar programs and services. So if you have families in different areas, there's probably a branch there to support them. And we have this really great website that has been updated, our locations page, which will allow you to basically kind of have a Google Map kind of look where you can kind of type in an address, your nearest, or wherever you're located, and find the branch that is nearest to you. So it's just a really good resource to kind of find where that branch might be.
All right, so it may make sense. The first thing we're really going to pitch is getting a free library card. So the biggest news we are so excited to say, there are no more late fines. So we know a lot of families may have not wanted a library card, were fearful, had fines in the past. That is no longer a thing. So please spread the word. We are so excited about this. It's a long time coming. So no late fines. So they can go into any library location. Like Samantha mentioned, there are 86 locations throughout Manhattan, Bronx, and Staten Island, and get a library card in person. We can also, which is exciting and part of one of the silver linings of the pandemic, is we finally have a digital card as well. So you can go to our website, nypl.org/library card, and families can sign up for a library card on the website, and then they can also go into a branch to request material as well. So it's just exciting. Again, really want to just put that out there. No more late fines ever. Just really exciting, and share that news with your families.
Okay, so this is one of the early literacy kind of main resource page that we have at our nypl.org/storytime page, which I will take you to right now. Sorry, my being a little weird today. So can everyone see this? So this is our nypl.org/storytime page, and where you can find all things early literacy. Starting with our story times at NYPL. You can come here to basically explore our calendar. So this will show you both in person and any virtual story times that we have going on right now. When you go here, you can basically search for borough, search for age group, so you can find the story time or program for your specific branch you're looking for, or neighborhood. So this is a great place to find any of those kind of live programs happening. But we also have our really great pre-recorded story times that our wonderful librarians have been working on the past 2 years, I guess. So we have really wonderful story times that you can watch, that families can access through Vimeo, Watch Now. And part of those, which they kind of look like this, and part of those is we have multilingual story time. So we have really wonderful Spanish story times. The other language we have, I think German, a Japanese story time. So really great resource if families are looking for story times in other languages, that is also available, that they can access anytime as a video. And another resource we have is our Little Learners page, which is again, a lot of multilingual programs available. We have kind of performers and educators that we have coming in to do different types of programs. Most of them are a lot of music and movement and really fun videos that families can also, again, access anytime. So if they're looking for a video to access. And then here we have our STEAM story times. And these are, again, video story time, but they're really great because they come with an activity guide. So kind of very simple at home activities families can do with, again, like simple materials you would find around the house. And it's a nice printable that if you want to share with families that you can share. And then these are also more of our printables. So if you're looking to share some like a one-pager for families or just ideas of activities, we have a really great at-home storytime guide, which kind of gives everything you need to do to have a story time at home. We have really fun play recipes, which is just, again, simple at-home everyday materials that you can do to just ideas for playing at home. And then a really great early literacy activity home guide. Again, just another, this is in English and Spanish, just another really great resource if you need something to print or to provide to your families.
And I'll just do another quick pitch that the play guides are available in Spanish, English, and Chinese. So we're trying to have all of our guides actually available in English and Spanish on the website. So that was a little bit about some of our early literacy services and things you can find for free online. But we did want to take a moment thinking about the library and really serves the whole family are some of the adult services that adults can find at the library. So just to highlight a few, again, it's really great to click through to the website and get more information. Our English classes. So these are enrollment-based series classes as well as informal conversation classes. We have an incredible Tech Connect, which offers tons of different classes about all different parts of technology. They're all free and they have a great hybrid model. So they're available both in person at different library locations as well as online, and just different community programs. So there's a lot of book clubs, special author talks that happen at the library for adults. And I think it's important when we think about the library and offering it to families that we really do think about programs for your little one as well as programs and resources for the adults. And again, everything is free to the entire family to access.
Yes, and also another thing to remember for all these programs, you don't actually need a library card to attend any of these programs. So they're all free and anyone can come if they have a library card or not. So that's just something to remember for families that these are all able to access them without a library card. Okay, and so just some ways to partner with us. So we love working with different organizations. So some things that we do offer are library card signups. We are happy to schedule a local librarian to come to you to do library card signups, kind of table with your families and get people signed up. We're happy to schedule story times if you're interested in doing story times at your location. We've done really great story times in clinics or wait spaces. So happy to set that up if you're interested. And also caregiver workshops. So we've also can connect you with the librarian to host something more geared towards families. So if you're having kind of a resource fair or something similar, we have a lot of parents coming, we're happy to set up something to have librarians come talk about early literacy or even just library resources in general. And you're welcome to contact me or Eva, and we're happy to connect you to your local branch or ourselves to do anything you would like to partner with.
Thank you so much. I actually had one question that I'd love to also share the question with our other partners here. One question I got recently is activity guides or something that could be in the waiting spaces that could be like a printout. So I'm wondering if you had anything specific. Maybe you can copy it and put it in the chat if there's any kind of like activities or something that could be something that families could do in the waiting room that could be something they take away and not something that lives there.
Yeah, Yeah, so we have, and Samantha shared it, but if you go to the NYPL.org Storytime page and went through some of those printable resources, a lot of those would work well for a waiting room because they don't necessarily even require any materials. We have a PDF of a printed booklet. We've actually given out to some of our clinic partnerships that has all different types of activities. It's English and Spanish, and you don't have to print the whole booklet. You could just go in and print 1 or 2 pages and look at the activities that kind of are a lot more like storytelling based or things where you wouldn't need access to any material and kind of pick and choose. I would also say some of the play recipes can work well if you have some supplies out or very limited, but definitely looking at that activity booklet because it doesn't need to be an entire booklet for families. It really can't be just printed out in 1 page, English, Spanish, and posted around, as well as printed for families to take home with them. So that would be my recommendation. And I can put a direct link in the chat as well to that resource.
Wonderful. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Samantha, for a wonderful quick overview of NYPL. And yes, thank you so much for all those resources. And as I pass it over to Brooklyn Public Library, I'm going to also say that we work with all 3 of the public libraries in the New York City area, but I know we've got Long Island as well as the Hudson Valley. So if you'd like some connections to your library, feel free to email us as well, and we're happy to do that. Rachel, can I pass it over to you? Oh, we're doing.
Is my audio okay? Oh, great. I had a brief panic where the audio was like, you're connected. So, all right, we're good now. All right, great. Well, nice to see everybody. I'm Rachel Payne. I coordinate early childhood services for Brooklyn Public Library. I'm just going to take a breath because I had a technical glitch, which is always like, you know how that is, I'm sure. All right.
Thank you, Rachel. Take your time.
I'm going to start my timer so I don't go over and get my slides ready. So many of the things that you heard at New York Public Library, we also offer at Brooklyn Public Library. So I'll try not to repeat, but I'll just call out. And, you know, there are some things that we all have our own flavor, as we like to say it. So, of course, Brooklyn Public Library, our name is what it sounds like. We cover the borough of Brooklyn. So I hope there's some Brooklyn people in the house. So let me just get my slides going. And nope, wrong share button. There we go. And I'll put a link to the slides in the chat. They have lots of links in there. So you can peruse. You know, sometimes it's hard to sort of like figure out what's the best to help people navigate all the resources that we have. So I just wanted to say again, yes, we're very excited. All 3 library systems have library cards for everyone, and they're also fine free. You don't get late fees anymore. So that is a really wonderful message to share to families. And you can actually have, I like to tell people, you can have all 3 library cards in your wallet. You can have a card from New York Public Library, from Queens Library, and from Brooklyn Public Library. And I like to do that personally so I can have lots of ebooks, you know, and place holds on different things. So it's a fun way. I like to listen to audiobooks wherever I go. So it's a great way to have access. And as the folks at New York Public said, we also have an e-card. So you don't even have to step foot into a library anymore. We'd love to see you though. Please come visit us. But you can get an e-card and use our electronic resources, ebooks, without ever having to come to the library. And of course, libraries have access to books, ebooks, movies, audiobooks, databases. You can use your library card for homework help. And I'm also, I love to say this, at some locations at Brooklyn Public Library, you can check out musical instruments and board games, which is very cool. And you can also check out passes to cultural institutions throughout NYC with Culture Pass. So that's great. So you have to reserve those a little bit in advance to get the date that you want, but you can go to a lot of free cultural institutions all over the city free of charge. Well, of course, I'm the early childhood coordinator. So of course, I'm going to tout all the wonderful programs we have for young children. Some of the biggest, most popular things we've been doing during the pandemic, and we want to keep it going as much as we can, is some of our Grab It Go activity kits. We have play recipes and a bag that you can take home the materials at some of our locations. And so we're doing lots of fun things around that. Of course, virtual and in-person story times are on offer. We're just relaunching in-person indoor story times this month. So give us a moment to catch our breath and get going with that. But we're very excited. If you want to come see me, I'm going to be leading a story time at the Macon branch at the end of the month, and I can't wait. I've missed hanging out with the kids. We also have a wonderful program called Brainy Babies, which I like to call a virtual story time. It's also in person as well. We're going to restart that, and a parent support group rolled into one. And many parents were really, we got some wonderful feedback from families, shared how much it really helped them sort of feel less isolated during the pandemic. So encourage your families to take part in that. And we're going to continue that virtually as well. Ready, Set Kindergarten is a wonderful program for kids 3 to 5 years and their parents and caregivers. I like to call that a story time and parent workshop rolled into one, where parents can learn fun ways to keep help their kids get ready for kindergarten and even pre-K and 3K. We've been doing lots of fun things in new ways since the start of the pandemic. We have story walks and outside of a few of our branches. This spring, we're going to roll out a few more. And we've also been doing lots of parent workshops virtually. We're finding that's a great way to connect to families. And we also have our early childhood symposium coming up in May, which is going to be really wonderful. You're welcome to come. It's going to be on disability and intersectionality. So it's really some wonderful speakers, and we'd love to have you join if you're interested. So I just want to give some shout outs for the big kids, as I like to call them, at the library, the kids that are 6 to 12. Of course, the grab and go kits have been super popular, and we're continuing to do that. And there's lots of fun programs for kids after school. A lot of our most popular programs are art programs, STEM, chess, gaming is super popular. So check out the events calendar. The link is listed right there. That's an easy link for you to use. And we're starting to resume in-person homework help at the library at many of our branches. We've been doing that virtually through Zoom and even through Discord, interestingly enough, but that's been a fun way to keep kids engaged and also help them with their homework. And their summer reading is coming. June 4th is going to be the kickoff of our summer reading, and also the celebration of our 175th anniversary at Brooklyn Public Library. Lots of fun programs going on in libraries that Saturday, so come by and see us. So programs for teens. So these are the even bigger kids. So, grab and goes continues to be super popular. We like to do lots of fun, engaging programs for teens because sometimes, it can be hard to get them out the door, off the computer and things like that. I have an almost teen. I can contest to the personally. So gaming and book discussions are super fun. And we also provide teens with lots of internships, ways they can work for the library, get their community service, and get a little bit of extra money. We've been doing a wonderful project this year called Story Teen, which teaches teens how to do story times. And they've been doing some really wonderful virtual and in-person programs. And we also started a program called College Connect that helps kids navigate the college process. So definitely check out all those wonderful programs for teens. We also have lots of resources online. Again, you don't need to come to the library to use library resources. We love to see you, but here are some of the ones that we have. BrainFuse is really wonderful. It's online tutoring for even for adults, K through 12 up through adults, and lots of different academic areas. And then some online resources for K through 12. And then Book Match is a really wonderful program. You can get through our website, you can get customized librarian recommendations on things that you're interested in. And this is for kids and teens and all ages. So if you want to get find your next 5 favorite books, fill out a Book Match form and we'll be happy to help you with that. So a few programs for adults. Of course, there's lots of cultural activities going on at the library, author visits, book discussions. So, check out those. And we also, as New York Public mentioned, some of their adult learning programs. Of course, there's adult literacy, high school equivalency programs, ESL classes, ton of stuff about that. So definitely check that out. And we also do certificate training programs that we host with some of our partners, things in medical billing, medical assisting, food handling certificates. So a lot of those are great. And a program that I think is super cool is Bard Micro College, where you can get a full scholarship liberal arts degree to people that haven't been able to connect to college in other ways. And of course, tax help is always super popular at the library. We're almost at tax time. We're in tax time right now, so you can do that. So just a few highlights of things that are that I think are really important to share. So really support for new immigrants, citizenship classes, English conversation groups, legal service help. We also have programs for people experiencing incarceration. One of my favorite ones is Tell a Story, where we at our branches connect families that are incarcerated, families that are experiencing cooperation with their family members that are incarcerated. And they read and share stories together, and it's a really wonderful program. We also have community health resources, consumer health, and we also have a social worker that helps us navigate some social work help and provide service referrals to people. There's also support for children and teens with disabilities. One of my programs that I personally use is one-on-one IEP help to help navigate that. So, and that's offered once a month. So that's a great program to check out. And if you want to collaborate with us, consider, you know, I have my contact information at the end of this. Think about that. But our bookmobiles are often bookable to go out to different community events. So that could be a fun way to engage with the library. So my contact information is here. You can also find your branch if you're not sure, but I'm happy to collaborate with you. Reach out to me if you're in Brooklyn. I'd love to think about ways we could partner. And thanks so much, everybody. I'll pass it back on to who is ever next.
Thanks so much, Rachel. We've got Literacy Inc. next. So we have Meredith Jones joining us.
Hi, I'm just going to share my screen too and get it set up. But thank you so much, Reach Out and Read, for organizing this. I really love the annual conference and just getting the opportunity to connect with more people. So my name is Meredith Jones. I'm the city's First Readers Manager at Literacy Inc. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about Literacy Inc. and what our programs are, and then also about City's First Readers, which is a New York City Council initiative that many of the organizations talking here today, including Reach Out and Read, the Brooklyn Public Library, New York Public Library, BIP, and Literacy Partners are all a part of. So I'll be doing a little bit of both of those. So Literacy Inc., or LINC as we call it, is a New York City-based organization that works to equip children with foundational literacy skills by empowering families and mobilizing the community. We use a two-generational approach to bring both parents and children into the joy of reading and to build literacy-rich homes and communities. So we really work with both parents and children and work to just surround families with opportunities to build literacy. So this looks like a combination of programs that combine parent engagement and also community programming. And a few examples of our parent engagement programs are parent workshops. So these offer information about building foundational skills like social emotional learning or the pillars of early literacy. So these building blocks programs. We also have a VIP Academy, which stands for Very Important Parents, that trains parents to become community advocates for literacy. Many VIPs go on to become LINC staff and lead our programs. So right now, about 65% of our program staff were once participants in the program. And so a lot of the folks leading LINC programs also went through them and talked to parents on a peer-to-peer basis, sharing experiences and resources. Some other programs include Reading Everywhere, which includes a fun read aloud, and it models practices that parents can bring into their daily reading routine. These programs have occurred virtually and outside during the pandemic, but when it's safe, they take place all over the city. So they take place in parks, building lobbies, laundromats, wherever families might be. We also have literacy zones where families can pick up books and materials throughout the city. So they're sort of like micro libraries. And we also partner with a variety of community organizations, stakeholders, and businesses around book giveaways and other events. So we love collaborating, and we're always open to hearing ways that we can work with all of you. LINC works in every borough, and we focus on the neighborhoods of Kingsbridge, Fordham, Inwood, Washington Heights, Lower Washington Heights, South Jamaica, East New York, and Northern Staten Island. But again, we love to collaborate, and so please feel free to reach out even if you're outside of those neighborhoods. So in addition to our own programming, Literacy Inc. is the facilitator of the New York City Council's Early Literacy Initiative, City's First Readers, or CFR. So we really like acronyms. CFR is made up of 17 partner organizations who all serve children ages 0 to 5, including many of these organizations that I listed earlier, in all 3 library systems. So through collaboration and capacity building, we all work to ensure that New York City children enter school with the foundational skills that they need to succeed. And we do this through shared messaging on social media, collaboration around programming and evaluation practices. And we're currently working on a coordinated communication strategy that will raise families' awareness of the network of services offered by CFR partners. So that'll focus on families who are already working with the CFR partners, but also we hope to draw in even more families who might not have heard of the organizations that are a part of CFR. So I encourage you to visit our website, citiesfirstreaders.com, where we have a number of resources for families that are always available. That includes our organization finder. So on the first page of the website, families can plug in the age of their kids, the activities they're looking for, the languages they speak, and find a program that matches their needs. We also have an events calendar on the website that has events from the partners that families can attend. And we also have a blog that includes tips for parents around things like screen time, book selection, different resources that are available throughout the city. And again, that it can be available in different languages. So I'd encourage you to share this with your families, and I'll share it in the chat. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me about partnering with either Cities First Readers or Link or both. We'd love to hear from you, and we're always happy to collaborate. So here are the websites and my email, and I will drop all those in the chat too.
Thanks so much, Meredith. We're looking forward to partnering on some of the Cities First Readers weeks that are coming up. And so we'll be sending books and resources out to our sites at that point as well. So you can look forward to that. All right, let me go to our next speakers, video interaction project. And Annie, let me make sure you're spotlighted for everyone. And our fingers are crossed that audio is working.
Hi, yes, can everyone hear me?
You're great, Annie. Thank you.
Wonderful. Let me just get this going. Give me 1 second.
Dr. Mendelsohn gave a great lead up for our VIP yesterday, so we're excited to hear more.
Let me just get this up and running. I will share my screen and go from there.
Looks good, I think. Ooh. It's up for a second.
All right. Can I run through the
Yes,
the
we're good.
presentation? Wonderful. So yeah, so I'm really excited to be part of this. I'm speaking on behalf of Video Interaction Project today. We're based out of NYU Grossman School of Medicine. I'm especially excited because we're close collaborators with, I think, everybody on this call today as part of Cities First Readers. And thank you, Meredith, for all of the explanation and description of Cities First Readers. I want to present a little bit of information today about what VIP is and the resources that it can provide for pediatric practices, as well as for the benefits that we have for parents and children. VIP is a parent education program that is designed actually to build directly on Reach Out and Read with a goal of really promoting early relational health to prevent poverty-related disparities in school readiness and child outcomes. We're incredibly aligned with Reach Out and Read. This was actually founded by Alan Mendelsohn, who is one of the original researchers of Reach Out and Read. It was founded by him in 1999 through NYU School of Medicine and Bellevue Hospital, which was the first location in New York to launch Reach Out and Read, and has a really vibrant and wonderful Reach Out and Read program. So the way that VIP works is that VIP layers on top of the really rich resources that Reach Out and Read provides through the addition of a 25-minute one-on-one interaction with a VIP coach. This is offered to parents at the time of their pediatric checkup. And at each of these, we follow a similar structure where the coach talks with the parent about some of the wonderful things that the parent has been doing at home with the child, the things that they've been noticing about their child, the favorite moments that they've had with their child, and goals that they have for themselves and for their baby for the upcoming few months. All of this is really to encourage reflective parenting and to promote positive parenting behaviors that we know are critical for school readiness. So talking, teaching, reading, and playing. The coach utilizes this interactive parent guide to scaffold the session and to maintain structure. And then one of the really wonderful things is that the coach provides the parent with a really high quality toy or book that they get to keep. This is in addition to the Reach Out and Read book that they would be already receiving from the provider. And the coach and the parent then brainstorm some ideas for using this toy together with the baby. The really wonderful thing then is the parent has an opportunity to play together with their child for a few minutes while being video recorded by the parent, by the VIP coach. The coach then plays the video back and in real time provides positive reinforcement and feedback about all the wonderful things that that parent is doing. It's fully strengths-based and reinforces these wonderful behaviors. This ends up being a really powerful opportunity for the parent. They get to see themselves on video and get reinforcement of their role as their child's first teacher. They get to keep the pamphlet, they get to keep the toy, they get to keep the video, so they can continue this wonderful work at home and share all of these materials with family. So that's a little bit about the program. We have a really nice video. I'm not going to share it out of respect for time, but I can share a link to it in the chat for everyone. I just want to, for 1 second, stress that this program is something that we know works. We have a ton of really intensive research from NIH-funded randomized controlled trials showing strong benefits of this program for parents and children. And so now that we know that this program works and we know that these benefits last for at least 1 to 2 years after program completion, the next step is then bringing it to more families. So since our start at Bellevue Hospital many years ago, we've started implementing across the country. VIP is now active at 12 locations across 3 states. 9 of these are in New York. And the goal is to really bring this program to more and more families every day. Our goal is to expand to 50 to 100 pediatric practices over the next 5 years. This is doable because VIP is low cost through its implementation in pediatrics, similar to Reach Out and Read, and because we know that it's highly valued by families, highly valued by pediatricians, and we know that it works. So for a pediatric site, for anyone who's potentially interested in bringing this program to their patients or their families that they work with, I want to give a little information about what it involves. So our team at the VIP Center of Excellence works with all VIP sites to provide technical assistance, including training of the VIP coach, certification, monitoring of fidelity, working with the site to support implementation and launch of VIP, to help you identify best practices for integration into your clinical workflow. The one full-time coach can serve around 400 children per year with up to 1,200 visits. And the cost is around $70,000 to $100,000 per year. This is a pretty low cost actually relative to other programs. This is around 1/10 the cost of home visiting for the patients that it serves. On the ground at the site, what it involves is someone at the pediatric practice or the location who can serve as a VIP champion. This would be someone who's a liaison with the Center of Excellence team and the point person for the program. There's typically one full-time bachelor's level VIP coach who's delivering the program through training from our team. There does need to be some space for program delivery and toy storage. I think we all know that also from Reach Out and Read, it's somewhat similar. We know that we're in New York, we get pretty creative with space, but it is a real thing. And then thinking through how to best fit VIP into the current clinical workflow and opportunities for warm handoffs and referrals. One great thing, or two great things about VIP is that it works really well alongside other services and programs. It's always been layered on top of Reach Out and Read, which has been very successful, and co-located with other programs like Healthy Steps, home visiting services, and other ways of supporting families. And then one exciting thing is that the VIP coach also has the opportunity to continue Reach Out and Read messaging to help support Reach Out and Read programming and to continue early literacy messaging. One thing that we've been doing in collaboration with, I think, everyone else on this call is having VIP coaches actually sign families up for library cards at the time of their checkups and the time of their VIP visits. That's been really successful, as well as sharing out materials about local early literacy resources that families have available to them in their neighborhoods. So, so this is VIP. If you are a provider or work in healthcare, I'd love to talk with you more about bringing VIP to your practice if that's something that you're interested in, and finding a way to bring this to your families. We're fairly flexible with small locations, large locations. We've even implemented this outside of pediatrics. And yeah, this is something that I think is a wonderful asset and such a strength for families. And again, I'm happy to share this information with everyone on this call.
Thanks so much, Annie. This was wonderful. I'm so glad you got into the expansion of VIP too, because that's something we're so excited about, the potential of bringing VIP into other Reach Out and Read sites and really just being able to flood the visits with early literacy and more supports. So thank you so much. And we'll definitely be shopping that around to our sites as a great opportunity for them.
Wonderful. And we have a ton more information on our website, on our social media, and I have resources as well that we can share.
Wonderful. All right. And we are transitioning to our last, but certainly not least, literacy partners. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you so much, Carrie. And Anne, I will be writing you an email because your program seems a perfect fit with a lot of the things we're doing. I'm Lynn Clark. I'm the Chief Program Officer at Literacy Partners. I'm a big fan of Reach Out and Read. And I'm going to take you through sort of the 4 programs that survived the pandemic. But I've also, and I sent it out too early in the chat, I have a link to our classes website, which is the most direct way to refer students and families to our program. So I'm going to try to share my screen and hopefully everything will work. Just give me a moment. All right. So can everybody see it? Thank you. So Literacy Partners has a deep history within New York. We're coming up on our 45th anniversary, and we really started as a volunteer-led organization where we were sitting next to a low literacy adult who was reading in our libraries. And so our history comes from libraries. And ironically, we're going back to libraries this fall in Corona, Queens. We'll be stepping back into the face-to-face world with 4 new classes in our English for Parents program. So we are based on a theory of change where we really focus on the literacy, and that's literacy writ large of adults, so that they can then invest in their children's early literacy and health literacy. We have a fabulous little video here, which I'm not going to take time to show, but it's from the Harvard Center of the Developing Child, and I'll drop that link. It's a wonderful way to just really, in a few short minutes, encapsulate this idea of building adult capabilities to improve child outcomes, but also, what does a 2-generation approach look like? I've come out of early Head Start. I used to run one of those back in Louisiana, and so I'm very child focused. Literacy Partners is adult focused 2-generation approach. And so we work within 4 main areas right now for our adult literacy learning. The first is English for Parents. That's our largest program right now. We run between 250 and 300 students a year. We have 2 intake points in the fall, and we just started another one in March. And right now, all of our programs are online. So we are serving all 5 boroughs in New York. Our primary referrals are from early Head Start or in Head Start centers, and also our health providers. And so we're working to build partnerships, and we have those with several, to get direct referrals through social determinants of health screening, through our health providers, through third-party platforms like Unite NYC and NYPL. And so Bellevue is one of our most recent partners. We're working with them and their Impact program to be able to directly refer their parents who would like English language support to our programs. Why this is such a good fit with those programs that really focus on early childhood education and 2-generation approaches is we only take parents who have young children in our programs. So we're very narrow. I was so impressed with the library programs and the broad, and we work closely with our other English language learning programs in the city to do handoffs or to refer into. So right now we do a 36-week program where we're really focusing the first semester on helping our parents to learn English, but also helping them to understand basic early childhood development, early literacy strategies, ways to interact with their children in positive ways. And we wrap books around that. So all of the families in our program will get 4 bundles a year of high quality children's books that are developmentally appropriate for their children. The other thing that we do is in the second semester, we really focus on health literacy. So our goal is not only to provide our parents with those language proficiencies that they want, but also to give them the words and the skills to be able to navigate these fairly complex systems of education and early education and our health systems. And so we work closely with our health partners to make sure that we're able to be giving them the skills they need. And we use this framework of social determinants of health to also connect them to services that are going to support them. And then the last thing is we really take a trauma-informed approach where we're trying to build community within each of our classes and across our classes. And so that's a huge part of our framework. So you can see right now we are online only. We got about 10 classes, but starting in the fall, we are going to be doing one place-based program, I guess, and that'll be in the Corona Queens Library. We'll be offering 4 classes. All of our classes are free, and those will be there. So we're really excited about that. Here's one of our parent advocates, Antonia, and it kind of gives you just an idea. I find it's always nice to be able to meet the people who are in the programs. And so what we discovered just by happenstance was during COVID, when we had to shut down everything, as many of you had to, that online classes were a really good fit with the population that we were seeking to serve. So we are keeping those classes while we are moving back into face-to-face. So Leadership, Education, and Parenting, or LEAP, is right now only with Bronx Community College, but we are expanding this as we move into the new year, where we're going to actually be able to offer the full HSC support. But once again, we are really focusing on parents of young children who are returning to, are hoping to transition to college through the HSE exam. And so some of you might know that exam changed. It's now GED. So we are working with Future Now at Bronx Community College. We usually have a cohort between 10 and 15 students, and we work with them for about 8 weeks, 16 sessions. What we've done within those is, once again, we kind of take a dual approach where we're focusing on working with Power of Two, with parenting strategies, and really helping our students to build resiliency in those areas. And at the same thing, how they can nurture themselves as they go through an HSE program. What we've noticed is through a longitudinal study is that parents who have participated in LEAP, as opposed to those parents who are navigating the same path and haven't, our LEAP students have higher less attrition within the program and higher pass rates with the HSE. So we're moving to open this up beyond Bronx Community College. So if you know, or if your organization would like to have a LEAP program, please contact me. My contact information will be at the end of this. And we would like to, we've got funding to be able to provide that for free for groups of parents of young children. And this is Angie. And it is so important, once again, we take a trauma-informed approach and we connect our families to social services. We have a caseworker who helps them do that. Now, Reading for Adults is also, it's our oldest program, and it's really also been sort of transformed over the last couple of years. We use Orton Gillingham, which comes out of the field out of resources based in dyslexia and auditory processing. That's at the center of our approach. And so once again, this will be for all adults. It's not just relegated to parents, but what we find is we often get those parents and adults who, for whatever reason, other reading programs have either been too high or maybe not one-on-one or not targeted and addressing the dyslexia. So it doesn't mean that the other programs aren't addressing it. It's just, this is a very unique group. And what we often do is, if this program isn't a good fit for you, we refer you out to other programs that are going to be a better fit. If you're more focused toward HSE or TABE or things like that, we're much, much lower. The average student has a pre-K to 1 reading level. But our goal is really that you are able to read aloud to the children in your life. And so we use one-on-one reading tutors. This is, once again, online. We meet twice a week, and we take intake throughout the year, although we primarily do it in fall and in spring. And then starting in fall of next year, we are going to have one face-to-face class. And so that will be actually in Manhattan, in the office in which I'm sitting right now. And those are all evening classes. So this is it's a small program. We have about 25 students right now. They're all matched with a trained reading tutor. And like I said, it's very intense. It's fairly clinical. And what we really try to use, what we really try to address are those possibly undiagnosed learning disabilities that might be present. In all of our programs, we wrap books around our families. And so because we were able to, and we've worked with Reach Out and Read on this, we get donations from publishers. We really try to make sure that each family gets at least 20 books a year, so they're able to build their home library. And then the last program is La Fuerza de Familias Latinas. And I know, and this is what is really showing up in our city's first readers. It's a wonderful program. Of course, we work with so many of you on this program. Carrie, in the chat I sent out earlier by mistake, I have a link to their webpage, which for some reason is loading super slow today on my computer. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't pop up right away. Normally it loads very quickly. This is a great program, and this is an easy lift. It's just 5 sessions. It's in language, it's in Spanish, and it's video based in that they watch the telenovela La Fuerza de Creer. We're going to be doing a new season next year, which will be STEM based, and then really drawing on those parents' strengths to tell their own stories that the telenovela is kind of a catalyst to be able to do. What's really exciting is there's all these other video resources and digital resources that are wrapped around this. So the conversation continues for a long time after that workshop. So I know many of you might have experienced these workshops. Right now, they are all online. We have the potential in the coming year moving back to face-to-face, but they're working really well online because, once again, we focus on parents of young children. In this case, it's 0 to 7. So really, in a nutshell, I think, what makes literacy partners perhaps different is that we really try to focus on this very narrow niche of parents of young children. We have the focus on early literacy, we wrap books around it, and then we really try to take a health literacy approach and work closely with our health provider partners to be able to make sure that not only are we bringing parents in from those health systems, giving them the language and literacy to be able to navigate that, but then we really encourage our parents and we facilitate the parents to step back into formal health provider and health support systems. And you can sign up there and you can see my email there on the website. If you go to our classes website, there's also flyers there, multilingual flyers in some cases underneath each of those classes that you can download and share. Thank you.